Radio.
Great, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Radio, an unrefined podcast for the everyman. Once again, I am Liarz, and this week I'm joined by Wasted. It's the return of Wasted. Brasky's still on location, on assignment, and Wasted is here with me today. Wasted, how are you? It's been so long.
I'm fine.
What's new?
Not much. Hello.
So we decided to do a show today to talk about one of your favorite topics, the Oasis reunion. Now over in North America, there was a big to do the same weekend as the Ozzy Osborne concert, and rest in peace, Ozzy. The Prince of Darkness is resting somewhere now in a better place, and it was sad to see you go, but it wasn't all that unexpected. A lot of Black Sabbath and a lot of Ozzy being played in my house in memory of him. There was only one Ozzy, and there will only ever be one Ozzy. And I don't know how prepared I am to be living in a world post Ozzy Osbourne. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know him personally, so it doesn't really affect me that much. But yeah, it's sad to not have him around because he was always funny.
Of course,
yeah. But the music's still there, and you can still watch videos, and which is what I did anyway. So
yeah.
I wasn't hanging out with him snorting ants or anything like that.
Me neither. Let's make that clear too. I was not snorting ants or biting the heads off bats with Ozzy Osbourne. Although I would have liked to. I think I would have liked to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, who wouldn't have?
by the pool.
I'm an avid vinyl collector, and I have my collection of vinyl. And I was in the store the other day, and like, this is the new section I'm talking about. It's not the old. Like, they have the old section, the used section that you can go to, but they also have the new release section in the front of the store as well. And there was never ever any Black Sabbath albums there, and I always looked for Sabbath because I've mentioned before the one that I had, the only one that I had was Never Say Die, and Sabotage was another one I had as well. But I always, whenever I went, yeah.
I think it's because I had three. I think it was 2 for 1. Like, I bought those albums like later,
Right.
so they were like CDs, buy 2 get 1 free. So I ended up with Never Say Die, Technical Ecstasy, and Sabotage.
Nice.
Yeah. And
I mean,
that was. But I had I'd listened, or I had the debut and some greatest hits. Like, I've heard all the songs, but
sure.
I've heard certain songs, but their albums, I think you need to be really, medicated to listen to them. They're very musical.
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is straight up devil music, man. Like, that is, I was listening to it. Maybe it's because I was listening to it in an altered state. It might be, but when I was listening to it, I was like, man, this is music straight from the devil, and I was really digging it. But getting back to the
debut sounds like a horror movie.
It sounds like a horror movie. Yeah, they have a very distinct sound, and especially like on their new albums. I find that once they got with Ronnie, like, and I'm not taking anything away from the Ronnie James Dio era of Black Sabbath. Mob Rules is such a good album, as is Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell is a masterpiece, actually. But when everybody thinks of Black Sabbath, they obviously think of most people, they think of the Ozzy Osbourne era. And I was getting back to the record store there. I was there, and they never had any Black Sabbath albums in stock, and now all of a sudden they have them all, and they're just ridiculously overpriced. So it's just, I don't know what's going on with the vinyl market, but it's supply and demand,
They
obviously.
probably
But
knew beforehand.
yeah, yeah, they had it on order. But $50, $50 for one LP record that's getting to be a bit too pricey now. So I might just be sticking to the used section from now on, but we'll see. One band that I do not have any of, and I would like to get some, is Oasis. Um,
Yeah.
so what I was getting at was that back in North America, there was a big to do about the Oasis concert because it happened on the same weekend. The tour debut happened on the same weekend as the Ozzy Osborne Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning concert, and I think it kind of got well, at least here it got overshadowed a little bit. There was still some news coming in about the Oasis shows, and it's pretty much dried up since then. So I haven't really heard much. I guess that's probably a good thing because that means the brothers are going on time and doing their sets that they should be, and
Yeah.
moving on to the next show, right? So what have you heard, or what do you know about the tour so far, Wasted?
Well, I think, we'll have to wait and see about how it goes off in America. I think that's in August. I mean, they're playing Soldier Field, but I mean, in UK, it's basically Oasis reunion mania. You know,
Okay.
like because I don't know why, but it's just like a full on. Like I've never experienced it, and because maybe the bands that I like really follow, like Guns N' Roses, kind of because they never went away really. Like the band kept on playing. When they came back, it wasn't this huge hysteria. They just moved to bigger stadiums, and
Hmm.
people were going a bit crazy. But it wasn't like because UK is so small. It's like it's mainstream. It's like morning mainstream BBC news. And everybody. It's not like just these metal fans over here like excited about this. It's like the whole nation is relying
Really,
on
eh?
Oasis to like save them. And there's a few other bands that they probably weren't phenomenons like Oasis were. Like also Oasis just cut it off, didn't they? Like in 2009, so 16 years ago. So
Right.
when they're coming back now, I mean they're kind of milking it. I mean if they weren't so crazily huge in the UK, it would be a bit cringy, with Liam comes out holding hands with Noel, like holding his hand up, like every show, and behind them they've got this is happening in big letters and a kind of like a montage of the old days of them. If imagine if
So
another band did that, like Guns N' Roses, they have like Slash and Axl, like pictures of them collaging, and sort of, this is not a
are
drill. Whoop.
are they kind of are they kind of mocking themselves by doing that?
Yeah, maybe they're just going so over the top, but in the sort of hysteria that's actually happening,
Yeah.
that how into it the actual fans are. You've got like a sea, like at Wembley, they called it a sea of Oasis fans. They're all wearing Oasis shirts and bucket hats,
Crazy.
and they sing every line. You
Every
know,
line, eh?
every
You mentioned in a previous show just how big they are in the UK compared to North America, where I mean they're a staple over here for sure, and they're a popular band for sure. But from what I understood from what you were saying last time, is they're much bigger in the UK than they are over here.
yeah, they basically just took over, on a commercial level, like singles in top of the pops, in the pop charts, number one after number one, like a record. Like I don't know what it was, seven.
Mhm.
And they also like now they have three albums in the top three in the UK, charts. They've got like Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory, and
Yeah.
Time Flies, the best of kind of
Oh,
release
okay.
from back in the day. So that's the one. If you get Time Flies, that just covers their set list basically.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but yeah, in the UK they were like it was like Guns N' Roses, Nirvana. This is in the UK, and then it was Oasis. Oasis were like the new Guns N' Roses for British people. The same tabloid, you know, the way that Guns N' Roses, like, you know, Axl Rose killed my poodle. You know, there'd be all these tabloid stories about, you know, Liam, you know, fighting photographers. So it's
Right.
on that level. So, you know, the press, you know, I can't remember the exact stories, but, you know, photographers were like climbing through there, you know, when they're in the studio in this like cottage trying to make the second album. They're like photographers, like you know, the FBI outside the studio coming in through the windows trying to get a photograph. You know, and then when the album come out, they just go straight to #1 and they have like 5 singles. You know?
Wow.
And then even the B, you know, because Noel was writing so many songs, even the B sides, you know. But yeah,
Or
there's
hits.
crazy things going on in the UK. Yeah, hit after hit, and then even the B sides were the fan favorites, like Acquiesce. You know, was a B side. There's all these B sides that were actually, you know. And I'm I would say I'm a casual fan of Oasis, but in UK there's like fanatic fans that buy every album, every single, and all the merch, Oasis shirts, hats, that haircuts. Like I worked with somebody in an office. He had a Noel Gallagher haircut. You know,
Really?
yeah.
So
You have like just like you have like Guns N' Roses fans who wear the kind of Guns N' Roses stuff. They wear the Oasis stuff.
I
Yeah.
know last time I went to a Guns N' Roses concert, I kind of dressed up like Axl a little bit. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did.
Were you wearing
So
pajamas?
no, I had the hat on with the bandana.
Oh,
Like, let me be clear. I was not the only one at the show doing that. There was many thousands of people were dressed either as Axl or Slash. Is that the same thing at the Oasis concerts? They're dressing up like their heroes, Noel and Liam.
it's more like, to me it looks more like a uniform, but yeah, they are kind of, they are also doing that. Like they've got the Adidas Gazelles on, maybe jeans. Man City, you know, at Heaton Park, Man City, that's in Manchester. You know, there's going to be a lot more Man City fans there. So you got like a Man City shirt or an Oasis shirt. So it's like sky blue colors,
Right.
you know, bucket hats. But I think what I noticed is Liam is wearing he's got this like fashion label called Green or something, which is one of the reasons they broke up, because Noel wouldn't let him sell his fashion brand through the Oasis website or something like that. That was a bone of contention, I think. But
Okay.
Liam actually dresses a bit more like fancy now. He's wearing a bucket hat, but it looks like it costs like 5 grand.
I felt
You know,
yeah. Yeah.
you know, and scarves and hats and stuff.
It's like
But yeah,
Axl and his ripped jeans. They're ripped jeans, but you know they cost $1,000. Yeah.
yeah, and at auction, you know, there'll be like Jimi Hendrix's guitar. You'll get
Yeah.
Axl's torn jean for like
Yeah.
500,000.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
you mentioned the set list. I pulled up this greatest hits compilation that you talked about, and I mean it's crazy when you think about it. Um, they have like I'm going over this track list here. So Supersonic, Roll with It, Live Forever, Wonderwall, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Songbird, Don't Look Back in Anger, The Hindu Times, Stand By Me, Lord Don't Slow Me Down, Shaker Maker, and All Around the World. I'm not a huge
yeah,
Oasis fan, and I can identify probably at least 80% of those songs. Like that's
yeah,
how
and
like it's crazy.
yeah, and those are then that album, Time Flies. That kind of, if you buy the actual set list is based off basically Most of Definitely Maybe and Morning Glory, and then the Master Plan album with B-sides that would fill in a lot of gaps, and then Time Flies has things like Little by Little on. You know, it fills in a few of the gaps. It kind of covers the basic Oasis songs and also fills in some of the gaps. You know,
So
um,
I just pulled up on setlist.fm the Oasis concert from Wembley Stadium. Just says Oasis live July 26th actually from Wembley Stadium in London,
yeah,
England. And you know, they played 23 songs. 4 songs in the encore. You know, so they started it off with "Fucking in the Bushes," preceded by "Close Encounters of the Third Kind," "Dialogue," and "Rockin' in the Free World" by Neil Young. And then they went into like "Hello," "Acquiesce," "Morning Glory," some might say "Bring It On Down," "Cigarettes and Alcohol," "Fade Away." So very, very similar to the greatest hits album that you're talking about.
Yeah, and I
Probably
think the
go ahead.
no, I think the only surprise, well, early on, the only surprise was really that Hello opened the concert. Like people were sort of, from Nebworth, or when they played the iconic video on YouTube when they played like Man City Ground or something like that, was Swamp Song instrumental into Acquiesce. So most people were expecting Acquiesce, but it
Right.
was Hello. But Hello is like, sounds like it was written for the comeback, for the reunion. The years have
Okay.
fallen like the rain, that type of thing. And we're back. It's good to be back. So it made
Right.
sense. But I'm sure they said the only song they wouldn't play was Hello, because it has like a Gary Glitter riff in it or something.
Oh,
That
okay.
might be another song. I don't know. But yeah, that was the main surprise, is that it wasn't Acquiesce. Yeah, but you see, they play Cigarettes and Alcohol as well, which is a hit, but they also play Fade Away, which is the B side from it's on the Master Plan B side album. So
Mhm.
from that whole set list, almost the whole thing comes from Definitely Maybe and Morning Glory, except the B sides. You know, and, when they play Cigarettes and Alcohol, this is one of the things that's mania. Oasis mania about it is that Liam gets them to do the Poznan, which is something from the Man City um, football team. Like when they play Poznan, I was like, "What's Poznan?" Poznan is like Lech Poznan is like a Polish football team that when Man City didn't play the Champions League, they ended up playing in this Europa League. They played this Polish team called Lech Poznan, who were like 3 or 4 divisions below them. But anyway, so that when they were playing them, to pay respect to this sort of terrible team, which I think it's just the name Lech Poznan made everybody laugh. They turn away from the stage and they link arms over the shoulder and then bounce. So Liam's getting them to do this before Cigarettes and Alcohol, and then because everybody's facing backwards, when the song kicks in, it all breaks off, and they're all dancing like sideways, up and down. And this is happening. The difference between Oasis shows and other shows I've seen is everybody's bouncing, even in the stands, and all the way
Yeah.
from the front to the back. But they
Nice.
get the Lech Poznan. They're doing the Poznan. Uh, and there's people putting ladders outside the ground. There's people like on Gallagher Hill, Heaton Park. And there's a hill that you can kind of see the stage from, and everybody's gathering there who couldn't get tickets, and everybody around the ground is singing along outside the stadium to the songs, even though they couldn't get a ticket. But on Gallagher Hill, they can see, and one of the songs, "Bring It On Down," Liam dedicated to the people on the hill, because the police or whatever raised the fence so they couldn't see anymore on the second night. And there's
Really?
the lad, yeah. So there's the Gallagher Hill. I mean, people are going crazy trying to. It's like Wimbledon, trying to watch Wimbledon from the Henman Hill or Murray Hill. Just trying to get a glimpse of it. And then there's also like the Ladder Boys. There's just like 6 guys, just Oasis fans who didn't have tickets. They just went up to the fence, put a ladder up, and then they were like, 3 or 4 of them went flying up the ladder and over into the the grounds of the show, and they caught one guy and he was like running down the road on YouTube. So
Wow. So
there's all these.
you got guys camped out of the concert on Gallagher Hill trying to get a sneak peek at what the concert is, and you got guys going over the walls at, is it Wembley Stadium? They're going over the walls at Wembley or
No, this
Man.
was at Heaton Park. Wembley's
Okay.
got probably tied to security. Heaton Park is
Right.
like a park, so you can get around it.
Okay. Okay. And you got guys bringing ladders to sneak into the show. Like that's how popular this. That's a
Yeah,
frenzy almost of fans.
yeah.
It's
And in Manchester, when they're playing in Manchester, some delivery service, I think I think it's Acado.com or something. It has this delivery service called Live Forever Deliveries, and they were delivering, like, there was these two guys dressed up in as Liam and Noel, like with the haircuts and the clothes, Live Forever Deliveries, and they're delivering like sausage rolls and budget champagne for the Oasis reunion for people. I don't know, delivery to your home if you're just like listening to it or watching it. I don't know, watching videos of it. So over that weekend, you could get champagne delivered by Oasis brothers. It's just like great, it's very like British style stuff, but just
Yeah,
everybody's like into it. It's not, cigarettes and alcohol also kind of like a theme tune for younger people. That's another thing. The the people, the crowd seems very young in the UK anyway. You know, and
that's good.
everybody's bouncing up and down for those first like set. It's like 9 songs. Which is just going for it. Four classics, and then Bring It On Down, which is the classic album track, Cigarettes and Alcohol, then a B-side, and then 2 more like classics, Supersonic, Roll With It, and
Yeah,
then Talk Tonight was a B-side from Some Might Say. Well, I had a tape. I bought quite a lot of the singles early on just to get the B-sides. I
right.
don't think I bought, and then Noel comes on, does Talk Tonight, Half the World Away, which is a sort of cult classic. I don't even know. I guess maybe Oasis fans around the world know this, but it was the theme tune to like this sitcom in the UK called The Royal Family. So that's the first time I heard that. Or yeah, but a lot of these songs I noticed. There was a CD single after Definitely Maybe called Whatever, and it had like Slide Away. Slide Away is also featured in the set list, and you'd think that would be a single. It's on the album, and it's still not a single. Slide Away, and it's one of the biggest songs they do. But like on that CD single of Whatever, there was like Slide Away, and then there was Half the World Away, and then there was Good to Be Free. So the Whatever CD single was pretty big. It was almost like Civil War with Guns N' Roses. It came
Hmm.
out. You would expect, are they just a flash in the pan? And then you heard Civil War. It's like, we're Oasis, just Definitely Maybe. No, Whatever came out, and there's this like huge song, maybe bigger than Live Forever or something.
I
Yeah,
like that comparison to Civil War because that song was debuted at the Farm Aid benefit concert. It was the last show with Steven Adler. Actually, it's the last time all five original members performed on stage together was at Farm Aid, and that was their new song. It was after Appetite and Lies, but before
yeah,
Use Your Illusion, and they decided to play something new called Civil War. Nobody had heard it. They debuted it there, and to use your words, I think that's when people realized that they weren't a flash in the pan, that they were legit, right? Because they had this monster song that they
yeah,
just debuted, right?
yeah. I mean, and it's also it's a kind of a big ballad, and they had like they were like a little bit branching out from Definitely Maybe, which is more like I don't know, rock and roll, punk rock,
Rock, yeah.
whatever. Had like even thing on the TV shows that I saw, even on Top of the Pops, they had like a string section, you know, like November Rain or something. But
Right.
that's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
song in the UK, but I'm not sure if it's as big in around the world. It could be. But then after that acoustic set, Noel also plays Little by Little, which is probably the only song. I think it's the only song that's not on the first 3 albums.
Right.
It's from Heathen Chemistry,
Right.
and it's kind of his. It looked to me, based on what he's saying between the songs, it's basically his. It's like his theme song at the moment. He dedicates it to the lads. It's basically just about, he's had a few divorces, and it's just about his wives moaning and spending all his money. You know,
Right.
so
After
he plays Little
after
by
little by
Little.
little, after little by little, they had "Do You Know What I Mean." That's my favorite Oasis song, by the way. I love that song.
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic. It's just 6 minutes of just nonsense, pure rock and roll nonsense. It's just layer upon layer of guitars and sounds, and it's great. I love it.
yeah, it's huge,
Yeah, yeah, it's a big
and
song.
has a funny video too. I like the video with all the helicopters, and there's sold. Like they've got brought
That's
in
right.
some troops. and things like.
That's right.
But Noel was saying that he didn't even remember. He didn't really remember making the video, and he thought it was a terrible video because, like, what is going on? Why are there helicopters? For this song, it has nothing to do with it. But yeah, that's
Well,
one of the songs.
there's that, I don't know if it's famous or a quote from, I think it was Liam, where they said they were making when they were in the studio recording that song, that he was so messed up on cocaine, that he was doing so
Oh,
much cocaine at the time, that he just wanted to layer the guitars. And at the beginning, when you hear, it's just layer upon layer of guitars, and he just kept putting more layers on because he thought it was sounding better and better with each layer, right? But it was really just the cocaine talking.
yeah, and it's the most, like, it's very excessive.
Oh
And
yeah.
the whole album is like that. Was it Getting Better, Man? You know, three exclamation marks on man. But that song goes
Yeah.
on forever because it starts out like it's like a pop song or a rock and roll song, and it just keeps on going. It's also 6 minutes probably, but all
I
of
love
them.
it.
And then Around the World was getting closer to, that's another huge single video that doesn't really get played at this show because it's all definitely maybe in Morning Glory. But yeah, even Stand By Me is another one. Like, it's a huge, huge song, towering. It's a bigger sounding song than, say, Live Forever or whatever. It's
Right.
not particularly. It's quite almost too simple, but it's live. Talking about Oasis Mania, Liam basically doesn't sing that song. He starts singing it. He sings the verses, and then the entire stadium sings the chorus for him, and he just walks around.
Awesome. Awesome.
Uh, and the oddest song they play is Cast No Shadow because it's not really a single, but it's dedicated to Richard Ashcroft, who basically opens for them. Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah, I know Richard Ashcroft. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's
well,
opening for them. Yeah, the
yeah, I think
Verve. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
opening, and I think we talked about Cast are the first band, and then I think it's Richard Ashcroft because he's
Right.
got maybe 3 or 4 or 5 like big singles in the UK, which he
Right.
uses at festivals. That everybody loves them. Cast No Shadow, yeah, Slide Away is on the
Yeah.
B side of Whatever for some reason. Then Whatever, Live Forever, and Rock and Roll Star ends the set. You know,
Yeah.
and then they come back. Just when you think it's over, they come back with the Master Plan. Which is a
I
B
don't know
side
that
art.
one. I don't know that one.
Dance if you want to dance. Please
Okay.
take a chat. It's huge. Another sing along. In fact, they're all sing alongs. That's what's so crazy about that show. Like, when I look at it, I'm going, I don't. Everybody wanted to go, but I don't think I can jump up and down and sing it that much.
Right.
I'd be
Yeah, fair
like,
enough.
I'd be
Young
getting
man's
cramp.
game. Yeah.
Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall, and Champagne Supernova. They end on like three of the
It's
biggest singles in British rock history.
I'd say so, man. I'd
And
say
then they
so.
do a
I mean,
fireworks show at the end, which is, I was talking about the cringe, but it seems to all make sense. Like, the only way you can end the show is with a fireworks display, but it fits in with the hysteria and the mania, Oasis mania.
it's pretty crazy, man. Like, looking at this set list and the breakdown. So what's their first 3 albums? What's the Story of Morning Glory? Definitely Maybe, and Be Here Now, right?
Yeah, and there's only one song on this set list from Heathen Chemistry. It's about their
Right.
fifth album. You know,
And the Master Plan,
B
did that
sides.
come? Okay, that's the B-side album that you're talking about because they
Yeah,
played five of those.
I don't know, I can't remember exactly when it came out, but because every one of these singles had a B side that
Right.
became almost just as popular. Like, even Fade Away, often it gets dedicated to the Burnage Massive, which is where they're from. But that's a fan favorite. They played that song in L.A. When they were, the Crystal Meth show, when Noel disappeared after the show. You remember he ran off with the money from the gig because everybody was doing crystal meth at the Whiskey A Go Go, and then flew to San Francisco and they lost him.
Yeah.
And he was with some girl, and that's what he's written. That song "Talk Tonight" is about that.
Wow.
Is about that. So "Fade Away" and "Talk Tonight" almost kind of go together, but they're famous classic And obviously, I still don't believe. I might be wrong about Slide Away, but I think it's the B side. And yeah, and Bring It On Down is like the most heavy punk rock song they have on Definitely Maybe.
Right.
And it's only one with any kind of hint of like a political message or something.
Yeah,
You know,
they're not very political, are they? They don't really talk
no,
about stuff like that, which is good. I don't want to mix my politics with my music.
even that one, it doesn't make sense. It just
Right.
has a hint of you're the outcast or something like that,
Right.
and you're living fast. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
So what else do you have to talk about? What else do you have on the shows, or have we covered it all? Or
I mean, that's the show. It's just they are playing in after Wembley. They're going to Scotland. I think they're playing Murrayfield, which is a big rugby stadium. I want to say
okay,
in Scotland, and they've seen. I don't know if this is a recent quote. I think they're dredging up the past when Noel used to just say stuff to piss people off. He called Scotland a third world country. so so he's
so,
getting that's what they've been. Scotland are getting ready to boo them off stage, but I doubt it because they in Scotland they go mad for like Oasis and you know Jesus the Mary Chain are pretty much like a
okay,
Scottish Oasis.
yeah, man, I
Both
haven't heard.
both of those bands were on Creation. Alan McGee. Alan McGee's the one who signed Oasis.
Okay,
At a gig in Scotland that they randomly played by accident. And then I think they're doing 2 nights in Dublin. That's obviously going to be massive,
massive,
you know.
yeah,
And then I think they're going. I think it may be America. So Soldier Field. So that's when we'll
yeah.
find out about
That's
this
in
May
Chicago.
Chicago, and then I think they're playing a couple of shows in the New Jersey area.
Giant
Um,
Stadium.
no, it's yeah, and then they're playing Pasadena. Is that the US, like the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, Pasadena, I believe, is in California.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's sort of, and then there's Mexico.
Are they doing any
So
shows in Canada? Do you know?
yeah, they're in Toronto.
Oh, of
You
course.
should head over there. Get a wheelchair.
It's
Get a
it's
wheelchair.
closer. It's closer for me to go to Pasadena than it is to
Oh
go to
really?
Toronto.
Oh
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yes. Toronto's sort of over to the center left.
It's on the right hand side of the country. Yeah, but it's center right.
Oh
But I'm on the far left, right? So
really? I thought you were.
yeah, I'm
Oh no. You're to me when I look at the map. Isn't like Toronto like on the leftish near
no
Vancouver? No, it's
no.
further over to the right.
It's all the way
Okay,
to the right, man. All the way to the right. All the way to the right.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
like Montreal was on the right, Vancouver's on the left, and then Toronto's in the
Montreal's
middle,
on the right, Vancouver's on the left, and Toronto is basically uh
closer to
much
Montreal.
much much closer to, like, you can drive from Montreal to Toronto in about 6 hours. Whereas if you want
Oh,
to
so
drive
the
from
closest
Toronto,
show for you is New York, New Jersey.
no, the closest show for me would be definitely Pasadena,
Okay,
California. Yeah.
California.
I'm on that side of the country.
Yeah, they totally. So that's what I think we'll find out. I mean, whether I mean, maybe the thing about them not breaking America was a little bit overstated because Noel was saying that all the shows were like mega when they were on that Be Here Now tour in America, and the shows were good, but they didn't really sell bundles of albums or something, and
Okay.
they didn't really go over with the general population because of their attitude, I think. And maybe some of them, I remember like Mark Lanigan, it's grunge era, isn't it? So he
Yeah.
like, so Noel was a little bit like, being a bit of a new, a lad about
Right.
things. And Liam was going around threatening people with a bodyguard. So I remember Mark Lanigan not liking Liam's attitude and things like that. And then they were a bit like cocky. And then you listen to their songs like Wonderwall is the big hit, and it doesn't sound like a hardcore song. It's not like a
Right.
metal song like compared to Metallica or Guns N' Roses or Alice in Chains or something. It's
Mhm.
not as heavy, but they do have their moments here and there on definitely. Definitely, maybe cigarettes and alcohol. Bring it on down.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, morning. I always think in America, Morning Glory is the song that you'd expect them to like more. It's heavier.
So what songs get played on the radio here? Wonderwall for sure. Champagne Supernova for sure. That's about it. To be honest, those two songs, those are their big songs. Those are the ones they play. But there's no doubt that once they do get over here, their shows are going to be sold out. Their shows are going to be epic. Their shows are going to be huge, and they're going to have
But do you think they'll
fireworks.
have the same amount of bouncing and
We'll
bucket
see.
hats and
I don't know about
ladders?
the bucket hats. Maybe bucket hats seem to be making a comeback. I know they're getting pretty popular. I'm seeing them out and about lately. I do wear one at work. I'm not gonna deny that. I wear one at work sometimes when it's really hot out. I wear a bucket hat. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're gonna be playing to sold out shows for sure. There's gonna be mass hysteria around it for sure. I think they're playing in the good, like they're playing in Chicago, massive market, New Jersey, New York, massive market, California, massive market, right? So I don't think they can fail, right? They're set up for success, and Toronto, of course, is also a massive market, not as big as the other three, but pretty close.
Yeah, and I think
So
the 4 albums after the first three are very more like people say Britpop or British psychedelia, but the next 4 albums from Standing on the Soldier of Giants, they are a bit more American.
right.
So it's almost like those albums could be used, for the American market because they're a bit
Maybe.
more sort of like rock, more like the Stones vibe than the Beatles vibe of the early albums.
Right.
In basic terms.
Cool. Well, I think we've touched on the Oasis reunion shows and what's happening with them, and you gave a great update, Wasted. I do appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to add to this tonight?
Not really. We live a dying dream, if you know what I mean.
There you go. Words of wisdom from Oasis and Wasted. Okay, on that note, Wasted, thanks for listening, everybody. Look for us on YouTube. That's our main channel. And you don't see us on YouTube, look for us on Rumble or Spotify, and from Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment. We're slowly getting back to all the comments, and I think I'm almost caught up with them now. So if you want a response from yours truly or even Wasted, leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And on that note.
Calling toxic pollution. Seeing radio never die. Seeing radio is toxic pollution.